And I think we are live. Um, Perfect timing. Practice just ended. So we're live on this now, on this deal. We're ready to rock and roll from uh, Kansas race. Looking forward to it. Got a lot of cars showing up for this one, as we'll take a look at it here. Um, and I will keep the sponsor logo of this one in the bottom right hand corner while we watch qualifying. So, a lot of cars showed up for this one. It's going to be a fun one to watch. On the grid, 31 cars in lobby, take away 2 with me and Doug in it. So, 29 cars are going to start this race. We're excited for that. That's going to be a fun one to see what happens, but qualifying's getting underway. We'll see who goes top of the board with it. But it's going to be a fight. We'll see who gets the pole. Obviously, qualifying on the pole, you get an extra point. So these drivers know it. They're going to go out there, do the best that they can with it. They're all doing their out laps and things like that. At the end of practice, though, Adam Newton with a 7.67, so he had a good lap there. Me top of the board, a little bit of help there, but Brian Helm, a new guy. Adam and Brian Helm are both new guys, as well as Spear, who ran with us last week. Jason, I believe, ran with us last week. So a lot of new guys inside the top 5 at the end of practice as lap times are starting to funnel in. Right now, Derek Cook, top of the board. Steven was for a second now. Nicholas goes top of the board with a 7.6. It's all going to spice up here the more we get running, but you can see the sponsor of tonight's race in the bottom right-hand corner. So thank you, Batey and Sanders, for the sponsor. We really very appreciate it. I'm actually going to have one of the guys whose qualifying is going to end, Greg, talk about it and let us know what it all is. Greg, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
So I know you work at Batey and Sanders, correct?
Yes,
Part of
sir.
that group. So they're the sponsor of this one. So I want to thank you and them for um, sponsoring as we see all the times coming in for qualifying. Talk a little bit about what Batey and Sanders is and kind of what you guys do and where you guys are located and things like that.
Well, we're located. Our home office is in Gadsden, Alabama. We have a office also in Carrollton, Georgia. We supply the heavy equipment industry. You know, uh, we've always been a follower of NASCAR, and then when iRacing came out, it was like, wow, this is something that we could really get into, and hey, we've really enjoyed it. So, hey,
Well,
we
we
hope we have a
appreciate it.
great race tonight, and hey, whatever we can do, we enjoy it and we love it. All right.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you sponsoring once again. Sponsored a few races earlier season, and we got more to come. So we appreciate you sponsoring and talking a little bit about it. We'll have them up in the top right hand corner of the whole race. So the Beatty and Sanders 125 from Kansas. It's gonna be fun. So Greg, thank you for talking with us. Good luck to your driver. You only got one in the field this week. The other 2 weren't able to make it, but we'll be looking out for them. Qualified all right. Chad Adams 6, but thank you, Greg. We'll go ahead and talk to you probably some point during this one, but good luck to your drivers in the race.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Greg, part of the Beatty and Sanders group, so appreciate him for doing that little interview with us. Is at the end of qualifying. Looks like everybody's ready to roll. So Zach gonna go top of the board for the moment. Top of the board. Um, we'll see if that changes in the next 36 seconds. As you can see, uh, just at the top of the screen underneath the ticker, right here, 30 seconds left. So we'll see who's going to qualify. A few cars that didn't, but a lot of cars still in this field. And so 29 cars are going to start this race. And we're missing 4 or 5 cars that show up regular each week. So this is going to be a show to watch. Hopefully it goes green all the way to the end. Obviously, we got the stages, so stages are going to come into play at some point in this race. So looking forward to that. Want to give a shout out to one of the old guys that wasn't able to make it. Last time he ran with us, he ended up winning in the Super Speedway one and celebrated that night and then had a kid. So Josh Hutchinson, welcome back, buddy. He's been off for a while, so good to have him back after and congratulations on your kid that you ended up having. So congratulations on that. Glad to have you back, buddy. But we're getting ready to roll from Kansas. Start of the race. About to kick off underway. Get everything situated and back going. As we get all the settings and things like that situated for this one. Oh, make your bets, place your bets. Who you think's going to win this one? Because it could be a lot of cars. Could change up the standings, especially with a lot of the new guys being fast. We'll go from the top view, but on the pole, once again, going to be Zach Zaudiver. Gets the pole. He's going to get that extra point. Already the points leader, but that's just going to help him extend it a little bit more to his outside. Brandon Bass in the 3 truck. Then right behind them is going to be Matt Frady and Brian Helm. Brian Helm, new guy in the league, 4.1K IRacing driver. So he's looking to make something happen in his first race with us. So shout out to Brian. Thank you for racing with us. Then you're going to have Jason Batsby and Chad Adams in row number 3, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Next row, Adam Newton and Bernard Person, 7th and 8th. 5th row, going to be Steven Evers and Clay Sarton. I believe that's Steven's best qualifying of the season. So he's been getting better each week. Hopefully able to keep her on track and stay where he is at the end. Hoping for that at least. And then next row, you're going to have Jeremy Horn and Jacob DeLago in the 99. For 13th, it's going to be Matthew Meekum and Bully in the 18. 15th is going to be Derek Cook. 16th is going to be Anthony McPherson. 17th going to be Brian Wasserman. Brian ended up winning Texas after a few things, so he's going to be at the about mid-pack, tail end-ish of the field, so that is something to look out for. We'll see him drive to the field, and then Jason Spear, who had a solid run to his outside. And then we get back here a little bit more. Josh Hutchinson, he's running, so thank you, Josh, for showing up. There you have Josh Witt, Nicholas, David Livingston, Jay Monin, Christoph Pilo, Jamie Beasley, David Hurt, Mike Presley, TJ Hanley, Richard Pruitt, and Chris Noblick going to round off the field as we're going out the back stretch. We're ready to get running here at Kansas. Here we go. Pace car lights are out. We're going green this time. It's going to be Zach and Brandon leading them to the green. WTF Racing, race number 9. Batey and Sanders 125 from Kansas is green. See the field trying to get situated here. Matt on the bottom, going to lose a lot of momentum, but Zach going to take over the lead. Brandon got a great restart on that outside line and tried to get through it, but just wasn't able to clear Zach. As Zach a little bit of a wiggle, and they're already going 3 wide, trying to make spots as many as they can. Restarts are wild here, as we learned last night in the practice race. Restarts are a big way to gain spots as they're 3 wide. Matt Frady already in the middle. Jason stuck on that outside line in the 29. Still 3 wide. 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Not going to be good. A little bit of contact from the 33. Pushes a lot of cars in front of the field. One up and over. Bully up and over. Everybody trying to make it through. Few cars are, but caution flies early. Problems early on lap 2. we see right here Jason or Steven on the inside of the 375, who is Brian Helm after his great qualifying. Steven just kind of come up, get into the door of him, and that shoved the 375 into the 29, and everybody trying to avoid it. Just a lot of cars not able to, as cars slipping and sliding, trying to make it through, going everywhere. Actually, Josh Hutchinson with a great move to make it through. Saw him wrecking in front, checked up just in time. Let's ride on board with him as it happened right in front of him. Going down the back stretch, you see the field riding on board with it. On top of the 26, Josh Hutchinson sees him wrecking in front. Doesn't lift till pretty late. Shoots the gap. Gets clipped just a little bit in the left rear, but is able to make it through. So a great job from Josh getting through that pack, but a lot of cars involved in that one. We saw the 33 there in that. I believe that's the 99. 51 got hit in the fence. The 29 was in that as well. So a lot of cars already with damage. Just the 33 Steven coming up and caused that one. So we'll see what the call is from race control, but that's going to mix up the field. A lot of cars going to come down pit road early to get their damage fixed or things like that. So we'll see how that works and what the call is from race control a little bit later on, but already a big wreck early. Talked about Steven, his best qualifying efforts, not got the race experience, so maybe that was the cause of that one, just not got the race experience as a lot of these guys, but that takes out a lot of cars early, uses a lot of fast pairs. That's unfortunate. Just less experienced guys starting up at the front can always be problems, but everybody trying to get their damage fixed, get things rolling. So the 19 maybe thinking about coming down pit road, but a lot of cars with damage now. We'll go ahead, talk with race control, see what the call is from him. Doug, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What was the verdict on that one? Are you still looking at it?
I'm still working on it. So
All right.
DOL.
Okay. See what the call is from it. Not for sure who that was. Race control will say who that's on, but we'll get going and see who it is, or who it is on in his eyes. So see what the call is, who gets the EOL. Obviously, these guys, cause one, you get an EOL. Cause two, you get an EOL and the EOL for the next race, or at the start of the next one. So got to be smart with that. But we'll see what the call is from race control as we're going to double up next time to be ready to roll. Already a lot of cars who started at the back gaining spots. You see in the bottom right, or the bottom left, apologies, when it ticks back around, see how many positions cars have gained from that one. But already big problems on lap 2. We'll see it here come up in a second. There it is. So, biggest mover at the moment, up 13 spots to 62. James Beasley right behind him. David Hurt in the 77. So, David Hurt gaining 15 spots. Got through that wreck and did a solid job of it. But now we're doubled up and ready to get through the field. Get the field restacked and ready to roll. Rack 'em and stack 'em. Alrighty, field is re-racked and ready to go after the lap 2 caution. Pace car lights are out. It's going to be Zach and Matt leading them back to the green. 2 KFM trucks on the front row. 2 of the 2 most winningest drivers of the season. Matt with 3, Zach with 2. Only other guy that has wins this season not here, so unfortunate there, but as pace car lights come on once again, so not for sure what happened there. Pace car lights come on again, so I'm not for sure what happened there. Possibly someone stopped on the back stretch or something. Stopped on the track could be the reason why. Oh. See the 99 go around and spins in the front of the field. That delayed it as he blinks out. Not sure where he went. Don't know about that one, but okay. Not how we wanted to do a restart, but pace car lights are out once again. We're going to stack them up again and get back going. Still do not know what the call is from Race Control. Don't know who they called it on, but we will see as we're getting through the field. A lot of change up or decent change up. Josh Hutchinson already up to the 8th spot. And he started deep in the field after not so great qualifying, but a lot of change in positions after the lap 2 wreck. So we'll see where everybody's able to stack up, but it's going to be Zach and Matt on the front row for the restart. Play close in on the restart zone. Zach fires. We're green. See the Fred's field spreading out a lot more than what it did before. But the front 5 are going to get single file on the bottom. Next 2, 4 positions going to be the 7 and 83. As it's single filed out now, cars all over the place, trying to get situated, trying to figure out where they want to go. We learned last night, bottom seems to be a big deal on restart, seemed to be really effective on tires, as we're going to try to keep a wide shot to see as many cars as we can. But restarts on the bottom, especially new tires, able to be the most preferred line, it seems like, on new tires, and it being nighttime, it's going to spice it up. Practice race was kind of sunset-ish. Now this is the nighttime, so bottom a little bit more dominant. We'll see when these drivers move up to the top line. I know a few of them were committed last night, and it was working for them, but don't know how the track's going to change and if it's going to affect them much here. Is Zach's going to take over the lead. Brandon and Matt are battling for the 2nd spot. Brandon going to be able to get clear on the 40 as we kind of roll back through the field. The 83 and 26 battling for the 7th spot. Then deep in the field, we got a big few gaggle of cars, and then deeper and deeper we go, the more racy it's getting at the back of the pack. But let's go ahead right on board with the 82. He sees all the cars in front of him, and he's making different lanes work, running the high line that corner on the back bumper of Jeremy Horn in the 81. He's going to look to the outside of him here. Is Jeremy going to let him? Yes, he is. Tires are a big factor here in the truck, especially in dirty air and different deals like that. Trucks, tire wear, and momentum. The biggest 2 things that you hear with draft and clean air. 2 big deals and 2 factors to keep your truck fast. Draft, obviously, going to be not got enough power to kind of drive away from mistakes and things like that, so always got to be in the draft and avoiding loss of momentum. And running that top line later on tires helps with that a lot, as we saw the 82 do. Got around Jeremy and the 62 there, used the momentum from the top line, went underneath them, was able to clear, as now the 5 is going to try to sneak under the 26. But back up at the front of the field, Matt's starting to drop back a little bit, few spots. Pretty characteristic from him, dropping back spots. But Brandon trying to still mount a challenge to get around Zach, is the front 6 cars, at least 4th to 6 are under a blanket, with the 40, the 4, and the 7. That's for the 4th spot. Then a little bit of a gap from Jason, and then it's another gaggle of cars just inside the top 10 battling for it. So these guys know how valuable tires, track position, all that is. They're going to race it smart. As Josh going to clear the 5 once again. Now that's going to leave the room open for the 82 to go to the outside of David. David Livingston in the 5. Bernard Person in the 82 on the outside. Remember, stages tonight is going to be 30, 30, and 65. So still halfway for the stage. Only the leader at the end of it gets that point. These drivers know it. So a little bit of contact on the exit of the corner. The 5 gets up into the 82. No harm, no damage. 82's door kind of popped back out. No harm, no foul there. Just a little bit of contact. Drivers on the bottom starting to get tight. So we go to a wide shot. We're going to go to the chopper cam. Just at the top of the screen, you can kind of see the front cars as they head through turn 1, as we're kind of focused on this battle between the 5, the 82, 81, 23. I believe that's 62, 19. So cars all over the track making moves as there's a challenge for the front spot in the 3. As they're coming up on lap traffic early here, the 99 of Jacob Delago, letting them go. But Zach still maintaining the front of the field. Brandon been trying different lanes the last few laps to try to get around him. Just hasn't been able to get close. You see he goes to the inside there, but just not able to do much with it. With whatever lane, let's go ahead and ride on board with Texas winner, Brian Wasserman. He runs the bottom of the racetrack just behind the 4. See, Matt's kind of pulled a gap on these two. They were battling earlier, and now Matt's going to try to run the front 3 down. $12 to go to the stage, so Matt knows it's only 1 point for stage winner, so he knows he's going to need every point he can to gain more spots. Still top 10 in the points, so he's 6th. So in the playoffs, not going to worry about that much, but still going to have to gain as many points as he can. As a little bit tight there, Brian got behind the 4. Now Matt's going to go outside of Adam Newton. Adam Newton, a new guy to the league, 3.1K I-rated driver, and showing some speed, running with the at least 2 dominant drivers of the season. Brandon also having a good run tonight. Had a good run in the practice race. Just had late problems in that one, but these two showing some good speed in the 3 and the 2. But Zach and Matt been dominant all season. They're up at the front of the pack as well. Let's go ahead, jump back a few spots to the 83 and 7. Those two are side by side. Brian looks like he's just going to give Jason the spot. So smart racing there from Brian as we get a little bit deeper in the field. See the 19 going underneath the 62. 82, 26, 5, 81, 62, 19. All these guys kind of under a blanket as we get a little bit further back in the field. Just cars trying to make their way through it after maybe their early problems, things like that. See, Bully is a lap down in this battle. He's right on the top side, so doing a solid job of that, but not much going on here at the back. Just everybody seeming to try to race it smart so far. At least a little bit deeper as the field as Jason's going to go by Matthew now. And now Zach's starting to build a gap on whoever's in second place at the moment. Zach now putting her on the wall, starting to run that outside line. We talked about it earlier. What tire age and what lap are these drivers going to go to the top at? And now Matt able to clear those two battling behind him. So now he's going to be able to have a chance to run down his teammate. As now here comes the 83 on the inside line with a great run from Jason. That's going to move him into the 4th spot. He's going to be clear on the 3. So great move by the 83 of Jason Spear. A lot of new competition joining the league. And it's showing you got the 2, the 83, the 4 joined recently, just a few weeks ago. You got the 82. Bernard ran his first race with us last week. Josh Hutchinson, he's back, and he's showing some speed. After a long break, David Livingston inside the top 10. So a lot of guys inside the top 10. And then Brian, after a great qualifying, just got caught up in that first or that second lap incident off of 2. He's making his way back through the field. So he's doing a great job of it. A lot new competition coming to the league. That's what we like to see, as they're still going battling for the 3rd spot, then for the 6th spot just behind them. between the 4, the 7, the 3, the 4, and the 7. Every race seemed to find each other. They're always side by side. At Texas, they were side by side for the lead early and kind of mid pat during that race and things like that. So they always seem to find each other, and they're always racing really clean, and it's been fun to watch. You see Brandon, though, he's dropped back a lot of spots from the start of it. And from where he was about 10 laps ago, it's 5 to go till the stage for Zach. But Brandon maybe burning off his tires a little bit, trying to run with those front two. It's just not worked out for him, at least that strategy call, as Brian's working the inside of Matthew now. Trying to make something happen on that bottom line. But these two making mistakes, going to be the 82, going to pounce on it. So they got to be careful with that. Still looking, this is the best battle on the track. Nothing too much going on up at the front of the field other than Zach. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Zach as we're looking out the back of it. See past a lapper, the 29, got caught up in that incident, Jason, so he'll get his lap back. But let's ride on board with Zach as he's all over the wall, running the high line. Let's ride on board with him for a lap on the helmet cam and see what he's seeing. So not using the apron, at least yet. Knows he's got a little bit of a gap to second, who is his teammate in Matt. So he kind of enters on that top dotted line. Hear him pedal it just a little bit. Just on that top dotted seam in the center of 1 or 2. Let's see what he does in 3 and 4. So lap time, he had the right rear on the fence and running that wall. Looks like he's going to go to it again. All over that wall. And he's looking good doing it. And that 55 machine out front, as he's got 3 to go to the stage. 2 to go to the stage, my mistake. Got the 40 in second. Kind of not done much. Dropped back a little bit, but then was able to regain it as change for the 3rd spot at the line between the 83 and the 2. So those two are trying to get around the lapper and the 29, Jason. But 3rd, going to be Jason Spear. Showed some speed at Richmond last week and showing it again here at Kansas. Then you got 2, Adam Newton in the 4th spot. In the Ford truck. In 5th, you got around Brian right there. So that moves him to the 5th spot. Brian in 6th. Bernard 7th. Josh deep in the field up to 8th. Clay Sarton and Brandon Bass now battling for the 9th spot. At the line that time, it was Brandon. But Clay looking to take that spot. And then here comes Brian Helm just in the mixes. There's a battle just behind them. But at the front of the field, once again, it's going to be Zach as he comes off of turn number 4. Zach looking to make it another stage win for him. He will. Caution flies for the stage. So Zach gets the stage win once again. We'll go ahead and interview him quickly before pit stops all kick off. Zach, do you got a copy?
Yeah, got you.
Well, before pit stop start and all that, I want to ask you a few questions. Looking good. How's the truck feel, and how was stage 1 for you?
It's surprisingly loose on entry compared to what it was yesterday. Just the night and day difference and track being as cold as it is. So got a little wiggle at the start. Was not expecting it to be as loose as it was. So that took me by surprise. Definitely tightens up towards the end of the run. And just when to go to the top is a bigger question, but I think we got it figured out here. But yeah, overall it actually feels pretty good. Racing wise, it seems like the bottom's more viable than it was when we did the practice race.
Yes, sir. Nighttime, it's going to be like that. We saw late in the run, in 3 and 4 at least, you got up all the way by the wall, so we'll see how that evolves later in the run. But I'll let you go for your pit stops, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Zach Zaldivar going to extend his point lead by 1 more, also leading it. So Zach, every race is finished inside the top 5, except for 1, I believe. So he's been very fast all season, been consistent. So he's going to gain spots. They're all coming down pit road now. So we'll see all of them come down pit road. Only 2 going to stay out, try to get their laps back, or a few going to stay out, try to get their laps back. As we'll see at the end of pit road, cars stopping in their box. Who's going to win the race off pit road? It's going to be big. All up to these crews. These tires are valuable. You saw how much the drivers moved around after those tires started to fall off. Saw Brandon start to drop back a lot of spots after that. So we'll see what happens there. But Zach's going to win the race off pit road. It's going to be Matt second, Jason, Adam, Matthew, Brian. Looks like Clay, Anthony, Jamie, Christopher Pilo, and David Hurt, Mike Presley, Richard Pruitt, TJ, and a gaggle of cars, 51, 57, 33, I believe that was 26, 81, the 5, 82. Bernard, not a good pit stop, so that's not going to be good. 23, 375, which will be the 26 next week, so we'll see how that is. But a lot of changing up on pit road, but still the front core cars all pretty even with it, so we'll see how that works out for them when we get back running here. All right, so Bully stayed out. He's going to get his lap back now. As we're coming to 1 lap to go, they're going to double up now. So 55 wins the race off pit road. Zach, after the stage win, ends up getting her done. Then Matt in second, so his teammate just behind them. Now the fast guys have made their way to the front. Now they're starting up at the front. They're not going to have to work their way through the field or use any tires or anything like that to get there. So we'll see. Now it's even after qualifying. A little bit of a shakeup, and now they're back at the front of the field. A lot of fast cars at the front of this field. Pretty much everybody inside the top 10 could be the top 10 at the end of the season if everything kind of goes their way. I know a few cars joined a little bit late, kind of halfway through the regular season, like the 283. The 4 joined a little bit earlier, but they're still able to get through the field. Now inside the top 10, Anthony starting 8th, so we'll see what he's able to do, if he's able to make up time to its speed last night in it. Now you got Jamie Beasley. He's looking good in the 62. 15, Christopher Pilo, who is Jamie's teammate. They're in the same chat together, if I'm correct. Yes, they are. So a lot of cars mixing it up. You got the Tennessee Tango in the 77 and 17 there. They're teammates. So a lot of cars mixing it up. Well, we're coming back to the green. This time, lights are out. We're coming to it. It's going to be Zach and Matt on the front row. 2KFM Trucks, his pace car pulls off. See the green flag. Into the restart zone. Stage 2 is underway from Kansas. We see Zach able to get clear. Matt, the front car, is able to single file out. Bottom lane, we'll see who's going to be the first one to go to the top. You know, tires are, you saw how big they were at the end of that. Now they're running about 2 seconds quicker on new tires after kind of test in practice and things like that. So 2 seconds faster they are. So tires a big factor. Now you just got to keep them till that end of the stage, like a few cars were able to. You saw Jason able to do that late in the race. He was able to gain a lot of spots from it, and he's the first one to try to go to the top, see if that works out for him. Looked like Adam didn't gain too much there, but keeping momentum up. Once you build the momentum and get it up to rolling speed, it seems to be pretty good, as now you got the 4 looking underneath him, as well as the 19. Hometown favorite, Clay Sarton, his hometown track. He's looking to make something happen. We'll go on board with him. Looking at the back bumper of the 4. I noticed when I was practicing and kind of run the practice with these guys, the top lane seemed to work early in runs if you had a buddy to kind of roll the top with and draft with them. So if you can lock onto their back bumper and stay with them, that seemed to be a big factor, and it worked out. For me, I worked with actually Matthew, so he's maybe got a little experience from it, but he's looking good at the moment. Been fast, solidly in the top 5 each race. As Brian and Clay are side by side now. Clay working that bottom lane and doing a solid job of it. Just got to be careful with those tires. Keep the tires underneath them, as no one seems to be catching the front 2. They're working together, like I said. They're running the bottom lane, so haven't gone to the top yet. We'll see when they do. Matt right on Zach's back bumper. He's going to lose a lot of tire wear doing that. Tucked up underneath them. Now Matthew tucked up underneath the 2 of Adam. So all these drivers looking to get around. They know how valuable the next stage point could be. Next stage is in 20 laps. Next time Zach gets to the line. So 21 laps till the stage. Lap at 60. Is Brian Wasserman going to think about trying to go 3 wide? Maybe a little bit of contact in the corner. Thought better of it. That's going to let the 4 have a little momentum on that inside line. As some of the newcomers coming through the field, got the 51 of Chad Adams working his way through the field. Kind of worked with Chris Pilo getting through it. He's up here. David Hurt looking good in that Tennessee truck. He's made his way up to the front of the field. So a lot of cars in this mix. As 2 teammates battling side by side, Adam and believe that is Jason on the outside line. So now they're battling. Now it's brought in all these cars that they've been running single file or double file. That's let the front 2 of Zach and Matt pull away. But everybody trying to fight for what they can and gain as many spots as they can. Try to prove to each other who's the quickest ones to run down the front 2. 4 blinking just a little bit. Not too bad, though. But Matthew on the inside in the 4, the 2, Adam on the outside. Matthew think about getting clear there. Not going to be able to. Now he will by the start-finish line. Let's see what line he goes to. He's going to run the middle-ish, get to the bottom late. Now Brian's going to be clear on the exit of 2 at the moment. He's going to get up as well. So the top lane doesn't look like it's coming in yet, as the 2 and 83 are kind of working with each other on the top. Hasn't worked for them. See the 4 and 7 getting a big arc into the corner. They've been arcing it, and that's a good way to help save your tires. And could be big later in the race. Is the 83 going to look to the inside of the 2? They're going to be 3 wide heading into turn number 1. That could have been big, but now the 19 going to be inside the top 5 for the first time tonight. Clay Sartin making his way through the pack, rolling that inside line like his teammates have been doing. Zach and Matt been helping him the last few weeks and always helping him every race get faster and get better, and Clay's definitely shown that speed lately. Now they're going to go back 3 wide, the 283 and 19. 3 wide back into turn 1. Who's going to be the one to back out? Not going to be anybody. Clay tried to roll that very outside line. Now he's going to have a little bit of a run on the center of the 2. This is getting a big mix now. Chad Adams, the guy who's second in the points, he's got this battle in front of him. That could be a problem for him. As we'll go on board with the chopper cam, we see the top left of the screen, Zach and Matt, then a little bit of a gap, or a decent gap to the 4 and 7. Like I mentioned, those 2 always running together. Then you got the 2, 19, the 83, 15, 51, 62, 77. So a lot of racing, and Dyson for position in this mid-pack. As let's go ahead right on board with the 51 as he's looking out front. One of the guys that was very committed to that outside line early in runs last night in the practice race. We heard Zach talk about it changing times and going to the nighttime. Bottom seemed to pick up a lot, so maybe could have affected Chad as he goes to the bottom now. But able to pull in the center. He's going to be side by side with Chris on the exit of the corner. How big of a run does Chris get? Going to be big enough to clear Chad once again. So differing lanes all over the track. And it's showing here. Chad keep rolling that inside line, just not got the tire grip anymore to keep it working. As you see the the four in front of him, all rolling the inside. Chad kept rolling that bottom to middle-ish. Just not been able to clear, get side by side with them. As it'll get tighter and tighter the longer you run on that bottom lane, especially the more tires wear if you're hard on them. So you got to be careful with that. Now Brian still on the back bumper of the 4. So he's looking good. And those two kind of working together-ish. Not teammates, but they're still always seem to find each other and always race really good around each other. So those two. And then at the front of the field, still Zach and Matt. Matt trying to do whatever he can to get around. Not much action going on with it. Matt not being able to get side by side with it. Hasn't made a move yet. Let's ride on board with Matt and see what he sees from the just on top of the seat where he sits. You see the 55 in front of him. We'll see right on board with him for a lap. See Matt going to go to the inside of it just as we go in car. Now we're not going to be able to see Zach because they're going to be side by side for the lead now. Matt going to dive to the bottom. Going to be clear in the center. Slides up. And he's clear on his teammate in the 55. Now what does Zach do? Is he going to cross over? Nope. They're going to work together. And doing a good job of it. Now Matt's going to take over the point. As at the line, it's going to be 10 laps to go to the stage. So Matt takes over the lead in the middle of stage 2 with 10 laps to go. So Zach, 1.3 seconds on Matthew. So a big gap is now Adam trying to make something happen on the bottom. He's going to try to go around Brian. He will. Almost is... They're a little bit dicey on the back stretch. Brian tries to side draft, not big enough to be able to keep him behind. So Brian moves back into the 6th spot, or into the 5th spot. Adam into the 4th spot. As now Clay into the 6th, Jason 7th. A lot of dicing for position. Now, as there's a big group at the start-finish line currently, just behind them with the 51, who's now dropped back a decent spot. Now he's got the 24 and 77 in front of him. He's dropped back a few spots. Not sure if he got on the wall or something like that. TJ, Josh, Mike, Brian not been able to make his way through the field yet in this one. But a few cars just kind of lurking, saving some time. Waiting for their time is now Brian. He's slow on the bottom. Not for sure what happened there. He's slow on the bottom. Not sure what happened. Ooh. That may have been my fault. I apologize there. Trying to get back to what happened to Brian. Let's go back and see what happened to him on the front straightaway. Just slow on the inside line. Kind of around the middle line. Let the 19 get to his outside. And was slow all the way down the front straightaway. Everybody had a run on him. So maybe he backed out just to think better of it. Now he loses some spots from that. As let's go ahead right on board with the 19 as he's running right up by the fence. Now on board with Jason as we're looking at the 19. So let's see where everybody goes. Jason got the 5th place spot just in front of him. Slowish on entry. Now there's contact for the lead up in front. Matt goes into the wall. Big problem for the 40. He makes contact with the wall. Or with the... Yeah, definitely with the wall. Not sure if there was contact early. Let's go back and take a look at that. Got in the corner a little too hot. He got in the wall and lost a lot of momentum down the front straightaway. Now gonna get swallowed up by the 4. The 2 now looking to his inside. Matt, not for sure how big that right side damage is. Let's take a look at it. Doesn't look too bad. Maybe just a little bit on the right front, but shouldn't be hurting him too much. But now losing a lot of time from that. Now he's in the hornet's nest. So all these guys battling to get inside the top 3. Haven't been able to get close to Matt or Zach all race. Now they're just inside of it. Matt was working with his teammate in the 55 kind of all race. Now he's got another one in the 19 just behind the 2. The 4 goes to the bottom, the 40 all the way up to the wall. Now the 19 in the fence just behind them. Clay does the same thing Matt did, and he's going to lose a lot of momentum down the front straightaway now. A lot of spots and momentum going to be lost for the hometown boy and Clay Sarton. But now Zach clear by a few cars, looking to win stage 2. But Matthew Meekin. I think it's Meekin. I'm sorry, Matthew. I know I may be butchering that a lot, but he's having a solid run in the 2nd spot. Adam doing good in the 4th spot. Not able to take back 2nd. So these drivers looking to gain track position late in this one. But now Matt got by the 4. Now the 83 in the 5th spot. We're looking on board with him. Looking to see where he's looking. How aggressive are these guys going to get at the end of the stage? No, it's probably not worth it for the guys out back. Neither is it really for the guys out front. I think everybody should be content just kind of running where they are for this one. Because it's not much that you can gain. Only the leader can gain an extra point. And Zach is 1.3 ahead of Matt. So he knows there's probably no hope in catching him unless Zach gets into the wall. But Zach can have 1 lap more to do it. White flag for the stage for Zach once again. And the gray, yellow, and blue Simpson truck. And he's going to come down the back stretch for the 2nd time tonight, leading it. Come to the stage and off of turn number 4. Zach going to go 2 for 2 in the stages tonight. Zach wins stage 2. So Zaldivar gets the stage win. Once again, already interviewed him earlier. Let's go ahead and interview Matthew. Let's go ahead and interview Matt for this one. Matt, do you got a copy? Matt?
Yes, sir. What's going on, bud?
Well, come home just a little bit short of your teammate. Got on the wall early, kind of gave over the spot to him. But still having a fast truck tonight. Talk to us how your stage 2 went.
No, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
You have a fast truck, but just talk to us kind of how your stage 2 went from your eyes.
For a little while there, I was just riding behind Zach, hanging out, and ended up finding top was working pretty good for us there, so ended up going around him, and then I entered wrong a little bit and got into the wall some, so I just turned it to the right, let him go by me, and make sure I wouldn't get into him or nothing like that, and then just ran back into 2nd.
Yes, sir, and it's been fast for you tonight. I know that you talked about the top right before you come down to pit road. How valuable do you think that top's going to be later in this race?
After tires get worn out, it's going to be the way to go, I believe.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We'll hopefully be seeing you here at the end. Good luck on pit road.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I was talking with Matt after the pit stops. We'll go ahead and interview Matthew. He's having a good run in 3rd now. See where he comes out on pit road as they're all coming down it. So who's going to come off pit road first? Early into the box for the 83. A long ways down for the 40 and 55. But they get in their box clean. 40 overshoots it just a little bit. He had to back up there. So that's going to cost him a little bit of time. We'll see if that makes him lose a spot or two. Some of the later cars trying to get into pit road now. See the 4 coming. Not going to be able to get around Zach. It's going to be Zach, Matthew, Adam, Matt, Jason, Brian, Chris, Clay, Jamie, Brian, Chad, David, Mike, believe that was TJ, Josh, Jason, Bernard, Anthony. Then you're going to have Jeremy Horn, 88, Derek Cook, Brandon Bass, Chris Noblet, Steven Evers, Josh Witt and Richard Pruitt. So that's going to be the race off pit road. Is now we're going to go on board or ride with the 4 here and interview him. Matthew, do you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're looking good out there. Solidly inside the top. Well, finished third in that stage. Came off pit road in second. Having a good run. You've been fast the last few weeks. Just come up short last week at Richmond for your first win of the season. But what do you think it's going to take to get around some of the front guys and win your first race of the season?
Good question. I was hoping you'd tell me.
I don't know, to be honest.
These guys are fast up here, and I'm just clawing and scratching for where I'm at right now. So I'll take it. Great competition with the guys up here up front.
Yeah, you've been gaining a lot of spots each week and just putting yourself in solid positions. Now that you joined a little bit late in the season, but remember, top 10 at the end of the regular season gets into the playoffs. So you've been clawing your way up to the field. I think you're in top 15 now, so closing in on it. But you've been fast week in and week out. Hopefully you get your first win with us at the end of here.
Yeah, but that sounds good, and we'll work on it. But just enjoying and having a lot of fun right now.
Yes, sir. Well, looking forward to it. Hopefully be interviewing you here at the end.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Matthew in the second spot for the restart. One more before we get back going. Adam here in the 2. Adam, do you got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, you're looking good. Came off pit road third there. Know that you guys are coming to green, so I'll make it quick. Looking good for your first race with us. What are you looking to do, and how are you going to be able to win this deal?
Tires, man. I got to save some tires and just try to be close to Zach. Zach's got a fast ride, man.
He's always fast week in and week out. He's got 2 wins on the season. The guy starting on the outside he has 3. So you running with them definitely shows your speed. You'll be fast all season, hopefully, for the rest of it. But we're looking to see if you're able to get your first win with us in your first attempt. So good luck on this restart and the rest of the way.
Thank you, man. I'll do my best.
Adam Newton looking good early here as he's going through the field and going to be starting third on that inside line. Matt saw him slide through the box, cost him 2 spots on the restart. So that's going to be a big factor. Saw Zach pick the top line. So now teammates on that top line. Maybe not hurt Matt too much, but pace car's going to dip off. We're ready for stage number 3 from Kansas. Zach leading, Matthew in second. Zach fires, we're green. Great restart from the 2 on the outside. Zach and Matt going to get clear after Zach picks the top. That's going to be big for them. We'll see from the wide angle what's going to happen here with these front 6 cars. Now, where's the run going to come from? Draft, big factor here. Is the 2 Adam going to work with the 4s, the 83, 7? What are they looking to do? We know how big draft is. If you can get in front, it's a pretty big factor when tires wear. Getting into the dirty air or getting out of the dirty air and putting yourself in clean air, that also puts the other drivers in the dirty air. So how aggressive are they going to get for that track position? We heard Adam mention tires is what he's planning on and how he's going to win the race. So we'll see if they're able to get to the back bumper of the 40. We'll ride on board with the blip cam, seeing a wide angle of all these drivers. See the different lanes already opening up early in this one, very top right of the screen. See a whole gaggle of cars. That's the 08, 17 leading that pack. David Hurt just behind them. They're going to go right underneath us from the blimp cam. It's definitely a track that's got multiple lanes. You're seeing it live. You got 26 underneath the 5. Josh Hutchinson, first race back with us. He's having a good run just behind them, but big battle now for kind of 4th to 5th, as now Brian's going to move into that 4th spot just behind his buddy Matthew. So those two always seem to find each other and found each other once again, but it's going to be a long way till the end. Lap 67 just passed. Zach was able to leave it. lead it. So good run for him. But now, where's the speed going to come? Who's going to save the tires the best? And who's going to make the move late? Try to get around it. We're going to ride on board here with the 15. He's got Chad Adams just underneath them. Chad rolling that bottom line. Going to be clear on Chris now. He's going to get up. Where does Chris go with that run? Going to sit in behind Chad. So Chad still rolling that bottom line. Brian, the 2 of Adam Newton. Jason Spear. Chad, you saw roll that bottom line. Got a good run on the front 2. And then Chris rolled the top. So front cars not sure where to go. Front 3, though, have been running that bottom line. Here goes Chad once again underneath the 83 and the 2. He's going to try to get that pass done. Not going to be able to. He's going to be on the door of the 83 down the back straightaway. Back to the bottom of the racetrack. We need to see how good those tires are, especially early on that bottom lane, early on restarts and things like that. And he's going to move in to the 6th spot at the line, get around Jason. Now he goes to the top and try to set up a run on the 2. What is he going to be able to do? He's going to have a little bit of run down the back straightaway now. Rolled that semi-top line. He's going to be underneath him, looking to take over the 5th spot, heading into turn 3. He's going to be clear just in the center. Is he going to be able to get up, though? Doesn't look like it. Going to try, though. Not going to be fully clear. They're still side by side at the front. Or for this 5th spot. Just behind them, though, now, the 08 has got the 15, the 17, the 26. These 3 have now passed the 15. Or trying to. Josh going to be the last one to complete it. As there's a crossover now from Adam. He's going underneath it. Should have been focused on this battle still. Now Adam's going to go underneath Chad Adams. So he's looking to take back that spot. Around the outside, it's flopped. Flip-flopped at the line. Not sure who led that one. That one, Chad led at that line. He's going to be clear getting into turn number 1 once again. So Chad takes over the 5th spot. We'll see if he's able to hold it. Now Chris Pilo dropping back a lot of spots. Bernard in the 82. Light blue and white 82. As the 17 is going to be in the wall right in front of the 15. That's going to be dangerous. 17 going to come off the wall. Is everybody able to avoid it? Yes. Mike made a hard left coming off that wall. That could have been big, but able to keep it out of the way of all the other drivers. So good job from him. Kind of checked up Chris. Don't know what happened in Chris's mind or what he was thinking. Big butt pucker moment there, as Kevin Harvick once put it. Butthole puckered on that one, but Zach still in front. Matt second. Matthew third. Brian Wasserman fourth. Chad Adams rounds out the top 5 with Adam Newton, Jason Spear, TJ Hanley inside the top 8 now. So he's showing some good speed late or kind of mid running of this final stage. It's 50 laps to go to the end. So still a long ways to go for these guys, and they know it. Different line still, though. A lot of car. I mean, I just want to take a wide shot here. Let's go from the chopper cam and take a look at it. As you see one coming out pit road, that is Jamie Beasley. But let's just see. We can see the few cars up in front. The 7 and 4 are battling once again. See the 51 go to the bottom. 2, 83 to the top. 26 to the bottom. 08, 82. Then just behind them, David to the inside. So still looks like everybody, except for Zach, is running that top line. Zach able to pull that move or be able to do that because clean air and things like that. But Chad got pretty decent clean air as the few cars in front of him are running the top. But we're focused on this battle here between Josh, the 08 TJ. This is for the 8th spot. Josh going to be clear on exit? No, not going to be clear. Let's go on board with David, one of the best Super Speedway League racers. Always fast in the Super Speedways. Love having him in the Super Speedway League. Only been able to make a few runs here. Is Josh barely going to clear on the 08? But he's able to. He's going to block that top line. Make sure he's going to get to the top. He will. Now the 82 is going to try to get clear into the same thing that Josh did to the 08. Not going to be able to, but David, always a factor late in the runnings. May not see him until the last few laps, but he's always there. Super Speedways, you always know he's there. And I think that's why he excels at the trucks. He understands how the draft works, races smart, never gets himself in bad situations, and it usually works out for him late in it. But at the just in front of him, still cars battling. Josh able to get clear now of the 08. He's going to start pulling away, as well as Bernard right with him. Doug, do you get a copy?
Yeah, man.
Well, now that you're seeing it from the booth next to me, what have you seen from Kansas so far? Looking to be a good race, battling all over the track. What have you seen from your eyes?
Well, looks like everybody's doing a really good job. I've seen very little stuff going on throughout the field. So everyone's holding their own and racing clean. And some of the people I thought would be a little bit further up front, I'm surprised, are kind of running, not quite being able to do it tonight. So that's
We saw a few guys. I talked about them a little bit earlier. Not able to make their way back up to the front, like Brian Helm. He qualified good, got stuck in that first caution, and just hasn't been able to make his way through the field. Clay Sarton, he's dropped back a lot of spots. Brandon, he's dropped a ton of spots from kind of been running up front. So a few cars not able to make their way back up to the front of the field, but it's still the same story, same song of the 40 and 55 seem to be the two dominant cars at the front of the field. As I say that now, with Brian Wasserman trying to put a challenge on Matt.
Yeah, you got to watch Brian. He will just let the race come to him. He never pushes anything. And he just waits for it to settle in and come to him. And then he's, he'll be up there at the end. So
Never qualifies up front either, though. He's up 14 spots from where he started. So he never qualifies really at the front of the field or front row or anything like that. But as the ticker ticks over here in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see it. 14 spots gained, 22 for the 08 and TJ. David Hurd up 17. So a lot of cars up a lot of spots. All right, one last question. Who's your pick? I know other than Zach and Matt, because they've won this season, let's not pick them or have multiple wins. If you had to pick another driver to win, who would you pick and place your vote on?
I would have to say right now, looking at late race performance, I think Brian would be a good call to pick for a win. Like I said, he's really smart with his racing and is usually there at the end. So I'm gonna pick Brian to be a contender.
All right, not to match you, but I think I picked him last week, Matthew in the 4. Try to get his first win of the season and his first win with us. Hopefully he's able to get that done. So come on, Matthew, no pressure. But he's got to. Matthew and Brian, I keep saying it, they've seemed to always find each other kind of no matter what. They've been racing with each other the last few weeks. Texas, they were side by side. Richmond, they were running together. So these two looking for another win tonight for Brian and Matthew, his first win. So just want to do a quick interview, Doug, and ask who your vote was on, and talk to you after the race probably.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my buddy Brian. So
All right.
I'm going to pull for him.
He's good on long runs. We'll see. Little interview with Doug there. As let's go a little bit deeper in the field now. Chad losing a few spots, dropping back. Adam and Jason going to pass him. Now Bernard going to try to mount a challenge. See if Bernard's able to get around Chad here. Right on board with him as he tries to set up this pass. See a little bit of right side damage from Chad. There's a battle just in front of them. See Bernard able to roll the center, just driving in a little bit deeper, maybe better bit tire wear. He's going to have a great run on the exit of turn 2. Is he going to be able to clear, though, getting into 3? Drives it in deep all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Is he going to slide up to get clear, block that run from Chad? Yes, but Chad, not great run on the exit of the corner. So Chad, not showing the late long run speed. as there's a battle just in front with the 83 and the 2 teammates. Jason Spear, his first race with us last week. Adam talked to him at the stage break. He talked about tires and how much they're gonna how much use they're gonna be late in this one. That's how he thinks he's gonna be able to win, is by tires. So we're looking to that. But it's definitely could be interesting. See how these guys roll. Let's go ahead and do another interview here with one of the team owners, Greg Everett. Greg, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Owner of the 51 truck. We see he's having a solid run, solid inside the top 10. But what is fuel looking like if you know? I know it's been green since the start of the stage. What is fuel looking like, and what lap are these guys going to have to pit if you know?
I'm not sure exactly when they have to pit. I think we're okay, but we're going to give it all we can, and see what happens,
That's all you can do. I know that you're on top of the box with Chad. Kind of like a Hendrick, not going to make the calls or be the crew chief or nothing, but you're there for emotional support and always there to help. But he's having a good run and just battling off Dave now. We're trying to hold Dave off. Just behind this is Caution Flies.
Oh,
Caution gonna.
Yes,
well, we were just talking about fuel. Now Caution's gonna come into factor. So, all right. Thank you for the interview, Greg. Gonna put you back in there, and let's take a look at this yellow. Alrighty, looked like it is the 5. So getting into turn 1, he just gets in the wall. When he comes down right in front of Helm, not able to do anything. Then he comes back down the track in front of the 57. 57 makes contact with it. Now the 5 spinning, and the Caution Flies. So not something anybody wanted to see. At least the front runners wanted to see. Big damage on the front end of the 57. Helm in the 357 will get his number changed, but he is not there now. But unfortunate circumstances for Brian. Just not had the lucky race that he's needed, as all the front runners coming down pit road now. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if these 8 guys are able to make it to the end on fuel. But let's check out pit stops. But Zach wins the race off pit road. Once again, you see them all coming off pit road. Don't have an automatic ticker to update it, so I apologize there. See Chris stop on the inside of the track. Not sure what happened to Chris there. He stopped on the inside of the track. But wow, this is really gonna stack up the field, and it's gonna get interesting as when we get back running. It's going to be about lap 93, 94 when we get back running, if my math is correct. So these guys know there's still a decent way to go till the end of it. And Jeremy Horn pitted that last time under green, I believe, because he last pitted on 89. So he would have had to pit under green for that lap. So I'm not for sure if that's what happened with it, if he was able to just come down pit road and he got a lucky break. Now he's going to start on the front row. But he's going to need a wave, or that just didn't work out for him, I don't think. But now Zach still in the pole. So that's really unfortunate for Jeremy. Pitted a few laps, or just before the yellow came out, or was on pit road when the yellow came out. So that's unfortunate for Jeremy. But his luck just isn't where it needs to be the last few weeks. He showed some great speed early in the season, but now just the luck's kind of worn off. So Zach still leading it, got his teammate in the 40. We'll see what lane they pick. We saw Zach pit the outside last time. We'll see if they're able to do a teammate restart and let Zach get clear on Matt getting into turn 1. With the guys out back behind them, Brian Wasserman Matthew, they're looking to put a stop to that. As let's try to go ahead and interview Brian here. Brian, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well,
What's
you're
going on?
looking good in third for this restart. You got the teammates in front of you. How are you going to try to beat them, and what are you going to have to do, you think, to beat them?
Well, that's a damn good question. I'm not really sure about that. I found a little something on that second to the last run there, or that run before the last one, and that's helping me out in the long runs. But yeah, you know what I'll probably have to do is split these teammates somehow. But well, I tell you what, they've got some fast trucks, so I'm not sure. Not sure what the plan is at the moment, my friend.
Well, it gives you a little bit of confidence boost. Said that out of the whole field over Matt and Zach. Doug took you for picks, FY. So no pressure there, but good luck on it.
I appreciate it, man.
Talked about you, saw that you had some long run speed, but try to break up them front guys and see what you're able to do with it.
Yeah, we'll see what we got here.
Alrighty, well, good luck the rest of the way.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Looking for his second win of the season, Brian Wasserman, starting third here. Heard him say he's going to have to try to do something to break up that front two. But as it's going to be a lap 94 restart when they cross the line. Zach and Matt in the restart zone. Zach fires. We're green. Front two able to pull a big gap on the field. Able to do what they've been doing all night. Pull the gap on restarts and never look back. Now Brian's going to be clear on the exit of 2. Now the 2 and 4 are going to be side by side. The outside not where you want to be. And you see the front two working together, pushing down the back straightaway. And that's what they've been doing all night. But now the closest one to him, Brian, was on the back bumper. And the Ford's going to be loose right in front of the 83. Great save by Matthew. Able to save it just in front of the field. That could have been big, but Matthew with a huge save. Keeps her from coming around. Keeps her off of the cars around him. Could say that's going to be a strategy play. You heard Zach say the car tightens up a lot, so maybe he's hoping to keep it loose on long runs with that move now, but that's going to hurt him, at least early, as back up through the field. Go from the wide shot. Cars trying to make moves everywhere to be able to get by these front two. Now the 51, the 2, the 7, they're all making moves. You see Brian going to run a different lane now. He's going to have a little bit of run on the 40 and 55. Brian finally get him out of challenge. He's going to get in the back bumper of the 40. Gets him up the track. They're going to be side by side off of turn number 2. You heard Brian say probably his only bet was to break up these two, and that's what he's trying to do. That's going to allow the 2 to have a run on these two. Brian's going to be clear getting into turn number 1. So Brian able to take over the second spot. He gets around Matt after a little bit of a bumper to the back of the 40. Bump and run on a mile and a half. Does Matt return the favor? Looking to. Brian's going to throw the block. Going to get clear. So a great move by Brian. Going to break up that front two. Now Matt was kind of pushing him. Maybe try to repay the favor. Just wasn't able to, as there's a big battle of cars going out back behind this with the 29, 83, 82, 377. So a giant field will go on the chopper cam. It's just the top of the screen. You can see that battle. Brian runs the outside line. That lets the 40 by once again. But this battle's still going on as the 3 is going to try to make it 3 wide. Goes a little bit on the apron. The 29 is going to be smart. He backs out of it. So a good move by the 29. Being smart with it, Jason. Believe that is, yeah, Jason Batsby. He gets caught up in that early lap 2 caution and slowly made his way through the field. Was a lap down at a point. Got his lap back, and now he's making something happen. But Matthew, seeing him all inside the top 5 all night, he's now stuck in this battle, not been able to do anything. Stuck on that top outside line as there's a battle for the 6th spot between the 3, 83, and 82. And then still at the front of the field, these 3 are battling for the top spot. Top spot, then just behind them. If any of these 3 make a mistake, the 2 and 51 are lurking. So these guys putting on a show at the front of the field. They know it's go time. as it's 25 laps to go at the line. That time, now Brian going to look to the inside of the 40 once again. He's going to dive her on in there, heading into 3. The 40 on that middle lane. He's doing a solid job of it so far. Brian said he found something for the later runs. He's definitely showed that late in that run. He showed it. Don't know if the front two know what it was, but he's going to try to put that into effect and see if he's able to get around him late. Knows that these two are going to work together no matter what. They're not going to leave each other. He knows he's got to do something to get around them. So we'll see if he's able to save tires and get around them late. As now the 51 and 2. Got Adam Newton and Chad Adams going for it. 2 Adams here. Battling for the 4th spot. Chad going back to the bottom line. The 2 on the outside. Chad's been committed to the inside this race. You know, in the practice race, he was committed to the outside line. But he's been just rolling that bottom line. And I think that may be why he's been dropping back so far. It's been eating up his tires, and it's not worked out for him. And then a little bit further back, the 3's going to be clear of this pack. So is the 4. Now the 26 trying to make something happen. Very impressed with Josh's performance, and not just saying that because he's an old buddy or nothing like that. After missing a lot of time on iRacing, he's been able to show a lot of speed tonight. He's clear on the 9. He's going to try to take, or for the 9th spot, is going to be able to. Little bit of a block down the back straightaway on the 83. Going to force him to the inside. Is going to. But Josh showing some really good speed tonight. And one of his best runs this season, the 08 of TJ Hanley, looking good, as always. But he's doing a good job of this one, trying to go back to the inside line. He's going to drive her off in deep on that bottom lane, the 08. He's gone. See what he's going to do coming off turn 2, side by side with the 26. You see in this gaggle of cars, every time someone drives it off to the bottom of the racetrack, they gain a lot of speed. Not able to get to the bottom that time from the 08. That's one thing you got to be careful with, though. If you're not able to, as the 08 blinks out there. Big blink out. He's back now. But 08, keep running the bottom lane. It could heat up that right front. And the more and more heat gets into that right front tire, the more and more it wears. And that's what I think we've been seeing from the 51 of Chad Adams. But we'll go back up to him. And now he's getting pressured by the 3. But at the front of the field, I saw a little bit of a change for that 2nd spot. Brian Wasserman put it into effect. That thing he found, whatever it may have been. And he's applying it now. He got around Matt. We weren't able to pick that up on the cameras. You see in the bottom left, up 15 spots from where he started. Now, trying to apply the pressure to the 55 to take over the lead. 17 laps to go. There's a little bit of a bump getting into the corner. No harm, no foul. Brian been working that outside line. Matt as well been working it. Zach committed to that bottom line. If I know Zach, he is one of the guys that when he first joined, we asked him what his ratio was, and he would always say 8-1 on these big tracks. And he was always really committed to the bottom lane. Is Matt going to try to do something on the inside? Not going to be able to. Now that's going to leave the momentum for Brian. Brian going to go to the inside of Zach heading into turn number 1. Going to force Zach up to the high line. Zach always comfortable on that bottom line. Doesn't like the top line. He can roll that bottom line better than everybody else. Runs kind of the Harvick Old Atlanta line where he puts her on the white line and just coasts around. Able to save tires and all that, but now Brian's going to have to build up some kind of run to get around him. Not going to be able to do it that time. Lap 109 this time. It's going to be 15 to go. Next time, 15 laps to go is Matt now falling back just a little bit. Not too worried about it. He'll catch once again. He's always fast to catch up as the back, or this pack has kind of spread out quite a bit. Man, this is going to come down to the wire. Here comes Brian once again off the top. Zach on the bottom of the racetrack. Let's see what Brian does heading into turn one. Brian's been liking that top lane. You see it. Gains on entry. Loses a little bit in the center, but the run on exit is what he gains the most with the draft. Now, once again, with a run. Down the backstretch. What's he going to do with it? Back to the high side. Not up as high as we see like Matt or Zach was earlier, but high enough to still get that run on exit. Looking the outside. Outside of Zach now just a little bit. He's creeping in. One of these times, Zach's not going to be able to move up. Now down the back straightaway. Brian to the inside. Zach on the outside. Brian going to be clear, getting into 3. And off of turn 4. Chain for the lead at the moment. Zach with a crossover. Going to go back underneath him. Zach still going to lead it. Now Matt with a big run. Matt closing in on this battle now. Brian back up to the top. Zach still committed to that bottom line. Now here comes Matt. These two were battling. Got heated up on their tires, possibly with them battling. And now that's brought Matt into the mix. Now the lap car going to be a factor. In front of Zach, running the line that Zach likes. That could cost him, but the 23, Josh Witt, he's going to stay low. Let these guys go by. Great move from Josh, letting these leaders battle it out for the end. But Brian still trying to manage something, trying to work around Zach. This is the best battle on the racetrack. And it's happened late in this one for the lead. Brian with a big run. Gonna push Zach into the corner faster than he wants to go. Matt really committed to the wall. Brian kind of straddling that top line. And Zach on the left side, keeping her pinned on that bottom lane. Now keep in mind, I'm not sure if these guys were able to make it to the end. I'm not sure on fuel or anything like that. So these guys still could have to pit to make it. But it's 10 to go next time at the line. So we'll see how big of a factor that plays. But Brian now to the back straightaway. Gonna go back inside of him. Tries the side draft, a little loose. Is he gonna be able to get back clear? Doesn't look like it. Zach with a big run now. He's gonna clear on exit. Now Matt with the momentum. Putting on a show here at Kansas. And remember, Kansas in the playoffs as well. So these guys, this is one of the few tracks that are in the playoffs. So these guys learning as much as they can, and it's putting on a show. So the aggression of the playoffs, when it kicks up once again, it could be a big, big deal late in that one. The moves are going to get more aggressive. The battling's going to get harder. But now Zach's starting to pull away from Brian just a little bit more. Go on ahead, look a little bit further back as Matthew's coming down pit road. Matthew down pit road now. Was just going to talk about him running fourth. Now he's down pit road. You see the 81 now. A little bit further back in this kind of group. The 51 as well. So the 51's lost a lot of time. He's a lap down. He's actually pitted on lap 108. So a lot of cars changing positions and things like that. Who's going to pit this time out of the front three? Not going to be able to. Brian in a gaggle of KFM cars. Clay kind of being a pain. Now Brian's boxed in with 3 KFM trucks. Clay last pitted on 108, so he's trying to drive by the 7 and the leaders to get that lap back. Now the 7 on the back bumper, the 55 now. Do these guys have to pit? We don't know. If a yellow comes out and they're on pit road, that could be big. But if they get caught, never know. And the guys who already pitted and came off pit road who are on the lead lap could be big. But Brian still committed to that top line. Matt not been able to make up a challenge to get around Brian and help Zach. But we're closing in on 5 laps to go. And everybody has pretty much come down pit road. This could be big. What's the strategy play from these 3? Haven't talked about anybody else really this race. 08 now into the 4th spot. He blinks out. Not sure what happened to him. He blinks out. But the 29 in 5th. David Hurt 6th. Josh Hudson 7th after the mix-ups. So cars all over the racetrack pitting. See one coming off pit road. That is the 82. So possibly not able to make it. If the 40 going to pit. No, he's slow off the pace. Not got the tires left possibly or anything to challenge the 7 and 55. But every time Zach runs that bottom line, it's been giving Brian some clean air. And now that I say that, Zach goes to the top line. So I was just going to say, no matter where Brian goes, Zach's been going the opposite, or wherever Zach goes, Brian goes the opposite. And that's put Matt in a really bad spot to where no matter where he goes, he's in dirty air. But these two look like to be balls to the wall as it's 4 laps to go. This could be the battle for the win, or could be the battle to run out of fuel. As hard as they're running, I don't think any of them are trying to do anything with it. As the 40 now, he's dropped back a lot of spots. Maybe he's just trying to save fuel, and they're like right on the limit. The 55 runs the middle lane. That's going to leave the top line open to the 7. Little bit of a run now from Brian. Where does he go? Where does he use it? Going to get to the outside of Zach now. Little bit of side draft. Is Zach going to be able to get clear on exit? He's going to try to slide up. Brian has the hole. Not going to be able to. Brian's going to cross over. Down the back straightaway. Is he going to be clear? Brian v. Zach. Off turn 4. It's 3 laps to go. It's dead even as they cross the line. Brian led that one. Just at the line, able to lead it. Brian back to the bottom of the racetrack. Can he get up in front of Zach? Just going to be able to. Now Zach with a crossover. Brian with a big block. He's able to clear Zach. Brian takes over the lead on lap 123. What will Zach do to try to take back the lead? He rolls the bottom, able to get by. Brian gonna clear. 2 laps to go. Pressure's all on Zach. Is Zach able to mount a challenge on Brian? Not gonna be able to. He's off the pace. Zach off the pace, out of fuel. Does Brian have enough to make it? He's slow down the back straightaway. They're both slow down the back straightaway. They battled so hard, they ran out of fuel. They're both slow. Where's the rest of the field? Adam. Matthew, Matt. He's on the same lap as the leaders. Is he going to be able to do it? We saw him back off and him trying to save fuel. It's white flag. Does he have enough to make it? Zach staying out. He's slow on the apron. What a battle for the lead. And it's going to give it to Matt. Is Matt able to make it? Very slow on the inside line. Very, very slow. Is he able to make it? Jason Spatsby in second, trying to mount a challenge. Is he going to be able to? Matt still slow. Looking for his 4th win of the season off of turn number 4. Matt Frady's going to win the crazy finish and fuel mileage here at Kansas. Matt somehow able to make it on fuel. He's going to win it. Jason Batsby comes home second. Didn't even talk about him all race. The 77, David Hurt, he's able to come home third. Zach was able to coast around the whole track and make it. Jason Spear comes home 5th in the 83. What a race. That was a guesser. But Matt comes home with the win. Don't know if he's got enough fuel to do a burnout, but man, I want to see all of you say to all of you, that was a hell of a finish. I had no clue what strategies or fear was. That was awesome. Good run, guys. That was a cool finish.
I had 2 sets of tires left.
Oh, that was Matt going to get a little bit of help from the 26 coming to pit road. Josh was in chat with them. So he's going to come down pit road. He did a great job of it. Matt somehow able to save enough fuel to make it. Let's go ahead and interview him, Matt. Now. Oh my gosh. Matt, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
How were you able to make it on fuel? You saw the front two battling in front. Your teammate Zach and Brian, they started battling. We saw you drop off the pace, was wondering what you were doing, and we saw you start backing off a lot and just able to make it. How much fuel did you have left, and what was your idea coming to like 5 laps to go?
I decided once I was behind them for a while, I was having a hard time just keeping up with them, even while pushing. So I started once I started backing away from them really far, that was when I started clutching it and just saving as much fuel as I could, knowing that it was really close. We were going back and forth watching fuel left and right, and noticed we were about 2-3 laps short, and it slowly started coming to us with us lifting and everything else, and I was just kind of staying in tow, and I think that was my lucky part with staying in the tow for as long as I did. And then once I just started clutching it, that's what pretty much saved me, and I ran out of fuel pretty much coming to the green, or coming to the checkered.
Well, somehow you were able to make it. We saw him run out heading into one, and I thought Brian had it. Then he ran out, and you still had a little bit of time to catch him. And then Jason was catching you pretty fast out back. Reminded me of an old, I think it was Xfinity race in like 2016 at Auto Club. 3 different lead changes from fuel, a blown tire, and things like that. But somehow you come out on top for your 4th win of the season. Who would you like to thank?
The teammates, for sure. They big help in there. We were all talking numbers and everything else. My son, my family, WTF, you for host or broadcasting. My buddy Justin watching. Yeah, all the guys that put this on. Again, my team. Without them, we would be lost. Definitely still got to get Clay up here, and now that we got Josh picked up, we got to get him some wins. So.
Well, you showed a lot of speed, you and Zach. Somehow you were able to make it on fuel, and you end up winning it. So congratulations for your 4th win of the season.
Thanks, sir.
Matt Frady comes home with the win, and in P2, Jason Batsby in the 29. Didn't talk about you much all race. I know that you are newer to lead, but somehow able to make it on fuel, and you were able to come home P2. Talk to us about that last run and what you were thinking on fuel.
Yeah, I was like, I was clutching the car for like 10 laps and stuff. I don't know how I made it.
I know that's what Matt said. He was clutching. He started clutching once he realized there was no way that he was going to get around Zach or Brian. But didn't talk about you much all race. Kind of mid-pack to just inside the top 10. I knew that you had that problem early. Went a lap down. Was able to get your lap back. You had a very up-and-down roller coaster race. But it worked out for you. Paint scheme's looking good. And you showed you had the tenacity to come and get through the field and first top 3. Is this your first race with us?
My second.
Second. You ran last week. That's right. But first podium and first top 3, top 5 of the season. So congratulations. You trying to run the rest of the season and make the playoffs? Get into that last 8 race playoffs?
I'm going to try. It's going to be hard, but I think I can do it.
Well, you keep having runs like these and able to make it to the end and things like that. We'll see you at it. No, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage joining a little bit late, but you keep having solid runs like this, it'll work out for you. So come home second. Congratulations. Who would you like to thank?
My mom, my dad, my brother, my family. That's it.
Hey, it's I feel you. I experienced that in real life. Just mostly a family deal, so it's hard to thank people when you don't got too many to thank. But you home P2. Awesome job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Solid run from Jason. And P3, David Hurt comes home 3rd. Gains 24 spots from where he started. A great run for David. David, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I know fuel was a big deal there at the end, but you come home P3, tied for the most spots gained, up 24 spots from the start of it. Talk to us about your race, kind of overall, and how were you able to make it till the end, that last run to the finish?
Okay. There's a lot of guys that's a lot faster than this track, especially on this Kansas track. I've never qualified good at it. But that was just my plan is just to try and stay out of trouble, at least through the first two passes. But biggest thing that helped me, I got lucky able to use the fuel strategy. I ran out of fuel about was able to have enough speed to coach ends up. So I just really got lucky. Yeah, I mean, my mic is messing up.
But I know I said something about 40 laps to go, I think, after the restart. I just talked about you're never up front, kind of mid-packing at the start of the races. Just like Super Speedway, you're always fast and end up coming through at the end. And it came home, and you came home third, and it showed. You're always there at the end, able to make it, and you had a solid run. So congratulations, your first top three with us this season. Who would you like to thank?
WTF Racing, Doug, and you. For getting this league together and building it and growing it like you've done. Really appreciate you guys letting me race with you.
Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure to have you back. We missed you, so we're glad to have you back. But solid run, come home P3, looking good for that Tennessee Tango team, and nice little paint scheme you got. But congratulations on the third place finish.
Okay.
David Hurt comes home P3 after a solid run on fuel, able to make it. That's going to end up doing it. So an awesome race for everyone tonight. Awesome to have everybody that ran. Thank you to Batey and Sanders and Everett Enterprises for sponsoring. Remember, next week, going to do it all over again. Next Tuesday is Trucks at it once again. And then tomorrow night, it's going to be Super Speedway racing. It's, if I'm right on that one, Super Speedway next week or tomorrow is Trucks at Atlanta, 67 laps there. And then next week for the Trucks is Chicagoland. So another half mile, great racetrack. Looking forward to that one. But if you guys did enjoy this one, please leave a like and subscribe. Turn on the bell so you know when we go live and race it. But we're going to do it again tomorrow and do it again next week. So thank you, Batey and Sanders and Everett Enterprises for sponsoring. Great run for the top 10. Congratulations to the field. Let's go ahead and see it now. Matt Frady, Jason Batsby, David Hurt, Zach Zaudiver, Jason Spear, Chris Noblet, Adam Newton, Brandon Bass, Matthew McMeekin, Menard Person, Mike Presley, TJ Hanley, Chad Adams, Josh Witt, Jeremy Horn, David Livingston, Derek Cook, Clay Sarton, Nicholas, and Brian Wasserman round out the top 20. So a heartbreaker for Zach and Brian and a few of the other guys that were running up front at the end. But Matt gets his fourth win of the season, and that's going to do it. So if you guys did enjoy, tune in next week. We're going to do it all over again. So hopefully see you there. Thank you, everybody who tuned in on the stream. Appreciate it. That was awesome. So we'll see y'all next time. That was do it all over again next week.